Hi, everyone. It's Tracy. I am back for week 4 of my Mini Kit Monday. I am joining Becky Bitting with her collaboration. This is something that she started doing and asked if anyone wanted to join. And I said, I do. So I am having a blast making a kit and then making some pages from this kit. Now, I wanted to use this beautiful floral paper, which is the kind of starting off point of the kit. You can go back and look. There are videos of the kit that I had created. And I wanted to make sure that I incorporated that beautiful paper in all of the layouts. And what I've decided to do is to use this beautiful cut file. It is free from Paige Evans' new Facebook group. And I will put a link below that if you're not already a member of her Facebook group, it's really a fun group to belong to. She is such a sweet, sweet person. And every week she gives a free cut file. So I think this was the first week, and I cut it out of marshmallow cardstock. And I had it cut out for quite some time until I knew what I wanted to do with it. And I used the flowers to cut out the flowers. I just traced around it. You saw what I did. I traced around it and then glued it down. And you don't really see them too much. Well, what I did very quickly is I added some clear gesso. This is by far my favorite gesso I've used so far. It is by Art Basics, which is by Prima. I believe I got it at scrapbook.com. I may have gotten it on Amazon. And it goes on so smooth. It is just the right texture. There's no grittiness to it. It dries very quick. The paper did not warp whenever I put it on. It is really awesome. And I plan on using that probably from now on. And I pulled out my Prima watercolor kit. This is the tropical set. And I'm using, a couple colors of green. I've mentioned before that whenever I do any watercolor, I like to use more than one color. It adds a lot more dimension. It gives some interest to your eye instead of it being one flat color. And so I had started with one color, I added a little bit of another green, and then adding some splatters. Now, I did show the brush that I use. It's a round brush. I got it at Hobby Lobby. Let me see. The brand is Master's Touch. Is an 18 round. It's a really nice brush, and it is it's economically priced, and I like the quality of it so far. Once all the paint is dry, I wanted to do some hand stitching around this wreath. And as you can see, I use the lavender, and I use the 6 strands of the DMC floss. And on the back, you saw where I add washi tape, and that's how I keep the threads in place. Now, this photo I don't know if it's a selfie or if it's a photo that her boyfriend took, but my daughter has such a funny laugh. She and her boyfriend had taken a trip. She lives in Sacramento, and they had gone over to San Francisco for a short weekend. And anyway, so this is one of the photos that she shared with me. And so I'm certainly going to scrap it. And I apologize for the sun rays that are on my layout. I didn't even notice that until I started doing this voiceover. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I had no idea that the sun was peeking in like this. So I'll have to make sure I pay attention to that. So I still hope you can see it pretty good. So I'm using the little scraps that I have for the mat for this photo, looking good. And these little pieces I'm placing here, those are from their chipboard that I got from Freckle Fawn. And this is the So Happy is a glitter. It's silver. And one thing to know, you better be sure you want those on the photo exactly where it is, because those stickers are not gonna come up. They are foam, and I knew that I needed to put something over that person's face that's kind of behind my daughter. I didn't want any, attention drawn to him. I wanted it all onto her. And the "So Happy, So Fits" her smile, and I can just hear her laugh, just by looking at it. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do because it needs a little bit more embellishments. I just can't leave it like this. So I'm going through with my black and white elements. I leave that little 2-inch square where it is, and I'm kind of this is where I'm, like, trying to figure out, "Oh, can I just move that over a bit?" That would be a no. Can't do that. And over here on the left, I do put that little, banner there that stays. And above her face, I have a sticker and it says, "Hello, beautiful." Now I am looking at some brads. I put some brads up in the top right-hand, corner where that purple, chipboard is, and I'm trying to use the brads up, and I end up using all the brads that I had pulled out. The little black and white flare, it says, "Be different," and I think I got that in a click kit, and that is gonna stay where that is. And these flowers, which is so funny, when I got those, resin flowers, I thought, "I am never gonna use this," and this is something that I got in my Secret Not Secret kit. Oh, probably my very first kit, and I thought, "Oh, there is just no way. Those are way too textured for me. They take up too much space." Well, I have used them, and I think I've used them up. They are beautiful. I have gotten several since then, and I use them almost immediately once I receive them. The best way to attach those, I can go ahead and tell you, is with glue dots. So now I am needing to add a little bit more embellishments. I get the stickers, because I mentioned that the Vicky Bitting sticker, these are like watercolor sticker. And I am using my Shimmers product. This one is called One Hot Mama, and it is a creamies, which it means it doesn't have any shimmer or anything with it. And then I've also got Paradise Punch, which is also a creamies that is like a lavender, since it's gonna go so well with the stitching that I put around this wreath. So I'm doing the flowers. I think I end up let me see, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flowers. And the paper that the stickers are on just accepts the watercolor so beautifully. And always keep in mind whenever you do any watercoloring or painting, the color is always going to dry lighter than what you see. So I don't mind if it's a little darker right here because I know that once it dries, it will be lighter and it'll be perfect. Now, on those pink flowers, I went ahead and added some of the creamies in the, purple, the lavender in the center, and then on top of that, I do put sequins in the center of these flowers, and there are close-ups at the end of this video, and you can see exactly, how that looks. I love the way it looks. And it doesn't really take too long for those to dry. So in the meantime, while they're drying, I'm gonna go ahead and just put everything together, just glue everything down. Now, I found that surprisingly, I can use my ATG gun with this gesso. Now, I noticed with the Liquitex gesso, you pretty much need to use liquid glue, but the ATG stuck down just fine, which, I didn't really think that much about it because it doesn't have that grittiness, the texture in it. I don't know. Everything is still, uh, stuck down. I did this more than a week ago. And as I'm looking at it right now, as I'm doing this voiceover, yeah, everything is still in place just like it's supposed to. So I'm using those glue dots to put down, the resin flowers. I make like some little clusters. I actually have 4 clusters on this. Being a circle, it's okay. In fact, nobody says that you have to do 3 clusters. I know that's the most common thing, because your eye looks at things in a triangle, but this is a circle. And so it can go all the way around. I am A-okay with that. Now, I have to say, I like the liquid glue for chipboard. Chipboard, it needs a little something to help it stick down a little better. And what I put over there by that black and white flare is a teeny tiny silver heart. I had cut it out with a die cut, and it just, it needed some glue to get there. And then I'm also putting a brad right here. It's going to be in the bottom left edge. And then I put washi tape so that it doesn't get hung up on the page protector or the page behind it as I'm sliding my page in and out of the page protector when it finally does go into an album. I'm not very good about keep putting my photos in albums, or what I end up doing is if I do have an album, I just put whatever I worked on for that month into an album. I would love for them to be like separated, chronologically, but I have so many that I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get it to that point. I'm really not going to worry about it. So I know I'm going to need some leaves, and I use a teeny tiny round brush to do that. And I'm using 2 colors of green, just like I've mentioned before. And one of the greens is kind of an olive color. And the other green is oh, like a Christmas green. Yeah, the one in the top right-hand corner of my palette is a very deep evergreen color, and I didn't add a lot of water to it, and it came out very concentrated, and so I'm trying to, water it down. This has been such a fun series working on this kit. It is amazing how different all the pages look. I want to say thank you for watching this. If you haven't already subscribed, if you would, and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment if you like. I do show you pretty slow motion this completed layout, and then there are some still shots at the end. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.